Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. An increase of over 3% in the past day gives the impression that it may have just reached it. The remaining portion of the market, which is mostly red but not entirely. Indeed, at the moment, one Bitcoin is worth $62,126, down more than 2% in the past day. Plus, it's utterly captivating. Actually, I'll show you a post later in the video, but one of the analysts I follow brought attention to something that I thought was unusual. I mean, I'm sure we're not alone, but I just thought it was weird. Even though it's fun to see, XRP usually acts like, hold my beer, once the market declines. However, there has been some intriguing behavior going on recently. Rather than the market going down, XRP is now going up rather often. Currently, it has increased by more than 3%. I can't believe it's been nearly 7 years since I last visited. Such behavior from XRP is unusual. Over the past several months, it has been shown remarkable strength. In fact, XRP has been among the top 100 coins in terms of performance over the past couple of months. Right now, when I looked into it, and I know some of you will remember this, XRP was only available for a limited time. Around the beginning of July, maybe a 4-week period, it was actually 125 coins, which was the second highest ranking. I can't recall exactly when. You know, that's not your average person. But you know what? I'm always saying that XRP will find a bottom, and it seems like that time has definitely come. It may have hit rock bottom in June 2022 when compared to the US dollar, but it likely hit rock bottom on June 7th when compared to Bitcoin. Here we have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which is at 48 out of 100, indicating that most people are indifferent. However, there are a lot of people who are quite bearish, and I don't get why. It simply disregards this. This analyst has 42,700 followers, which is a decent number, however I am not familiar with him. That is difficult to achieve. And the analyst I was following shared, "What's that you see on your screen at the moment?" And I figured, you know what? This makes perfect sense, so I figured I'd tell you about it. Bitcoin is now 12.5% lower than its local high of $73,000 in March, according to chart analyst Decipher. Consider that for a second. This market does not care about 12.5%. We would have lost at least half of our investment by now, assuming $73,000 was the peak after 7 months. Think about how an average Bitcoin bear market retraces 80% of its initial advance and lasts for over a year. After 7 months, the fact that we are only down 12.5% should be enough to predict a lengthy, tedious, and irritating sideways consolidation in the Bitcoin bull market. So, when you put it that way, I have to ask, isn't that compelling? It's captivating, that's why. Bringing this slide together. That is absolutely true. It's happening at this very moment, I'd say. If this were the real bear market and everything had ended, though, I would say yes to a few things. For one, isn't it strange that Bitcoin only just managed to surpass its prior all-time high for a little moment? Second, after all this time, why hasn't it crashed more frequently? That is a very valid and insightful observation. As a result, the future is completely unpredictable. For the sake of speculation, though, I'd say that the best is yet to come. Perhaps it will continue into 2025 to a lesser extent than this year. It would not surprise me if Bitcoin continues to climb in value. The possibility of a spin-off season is not going to shock me. Enterprise discovery and melt faces, as well as XRP hitting a new all-time high, are not surprises to me. If that occurs, I will not be in the slightest bit surprised. Also worth reading is this piece by chart expert Tony Severino. Like, how many indicators do you need to see before you realize, alright, even though we can always confess, like, we don't know. For sure, I mean, I'm not saying that anyone should, but really, shouldn't they? Get your hands on enough information to exclaim, huh? Well, looking at what's likely to happen, it would be more of the same positive trajectory. Am I correct? A Bitcoin USD chart is displayed on your screen in this additional artwork by Tony Sabrina. He claims that Bitcoin's 2-month chart shows the second lowest volatility level in its history, even though the cryptocurrency's weekly historical volatility is about to break out. The final leg of the 2017 bull run happened while historical volatility was this low. Even though I'm not great with charts, I do know that low volatility is usually the sign that things are about to go haywire. Yes, it does. Yes, that was 2017, and yes, we are currently in that zone. Second till, it's like, second till, until Bitcoin reaches its most stable point in its almost 15-year history. Sure, you can pick out a single indicator that says, yeah, I don't know, but it's clear that you're paying attention. If you're here today, before the craze hits, you're likely someone who is extremely interested in cryptocurrency, like me. You've likely seen enough evidence to conclude, this is probably not a one-off. It's like there are signs everywhere. Not knowing what will happen for sure, but what is likely to happen, the indicators are obvious for Bitcoin and XRP. Given the current state of the industry, how do you think it is unlikely that Bitcoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies will experience significant growth? That sounds insane to me. This post from a chart analyst with a mustache about Bitcoin, and USD charts should dispel any doubts anybody may have. Also, he warns against getting caught up in the ebb and flow of short-term market movements. On occasion, it can be really unpleasant. Keep the broader view in mind. The first line has been recovered. At the moment, the second black line represents Bitcoin's target for potential support. Indeed, this is one of those cases where it would be wise to glance at your screen in order to comprehend the current discourse. On the right side, you can see the results of my mouse movements at a few important levels. However, he is also displaying a specific chart formation, an expanding wedge that is dropping. He thinks we're in that kind of situation at the moment. He thinks we're going to be making a meteoric rise to new heights in the near future. In my opinion, that is the consensus among the analysts whose predictions I follow when it comes to the likelihood of certain outcomes. I agree. Bull, crypto, Bitcoin, massive, parabolic rally incoming is the title of this post by chart expert Mikey. Everything that transpired in 2016 and 2020 in terms of technical analysis is now showing, most likely, nothing. Surely it's not a big deal. You are aware of all these things. And Bitcoin, well, it crops up about every 4 years. Things are different now, though. Plus, an insane alternate season is not in our future. We do not anticipate it significantly surpassing the all-time highs of the past cycles. Once every 15 years, things change. Could it be true? Without a doubt, I do not. Sure, we can have a good time arguing about the reasons, but history does, in fact, rhyme with itself. Plus, I'm pleased to cover Bitcoin as its price rises, despite the fact that I don't care whether I own any, because this is why. It's one of my biggest roles, and I've had it since 2017. However, I must admit that I am not really enthusiastic about it. Since XRP is my largest individual cryptocurrency investment and the one in which I am most interested, I find it fascinating to follow the market since I anticipate that as Bitcoin's price rises, more and more capital will be directed into it. For the simple reason that when people sell Bitcoin, some of that money will go into US dollars or some other fiat currency. However, the majority of that money will percolate down the risk curve and into the remainder of the asset class. Undoubtedly, XRP will gain value as a result of that. To put it simply, I am very convinced. The market capitalization percentage of Bitcoin is seen in this chart, which was posted by chart analyst Crypto. A catastrophic collapse, he claims, is imminent due to Bitcoin's supremacy. Even while the rising wedge pattern suggests a possible breakdown that might revitalize altcoins, a monthly closing of Bitcoin dominance above 58% might set the stage for a push to 73%. Minimum goal, 39%. I won't even try to predict when this market cycle's dominance percentage high will be since, well, only time will tell. Hey, according to a few of the analysts I follow, it's pretty much at its high right now. Never again will I claim to know for sure if it is accurate or not, but I can assure you that everything else will happen regardless. After all, what else is there to say? Coincident with Bitcoin's peak, capital floods into alternative cryptocurrencies, as I mentioned before. Therefore, I am pleased to hear that even if Bitcoin's price keeps going up, its market dominance will decline due to the continued success of altcoins. Whether that occurs is something I can say with certainty. I mean, obviously, the market could do just fine unless some strange black swan event occurs, but I really don't think that's likely to happen here. I appreciate you taking the time to view my online video. Thank you for watching my channel and for subscribing. I will see you later.